Hey folks, how you guys doing? I just wanted to do this quick video here to go over a video that was circulating on YouTube for the past couple of days. And the reason why I wanted to go over this video is because it was brought to my attention and it got a lot of people very worried about what the possibilities are. Now, I'm going to go over a couple things, and for the past few days, like within the past 2 days, myself plus some other friends, media colleagues, have been looking into this to try to have a better sense of understanding as to what is possibly going on. Now, here is the video, right? The video alleged that there are a number of ships, right? A number of ships that are identified outside, which is in this area here that you're seeing on the live map. So I'm looking at the live map that's right here, and it's labeled unidentified. A number of those ships, and the video alleged that those are coalition or military ships that in somewhere is planning some revolution or overthrow of some sort. Now, if you can see in the map correctly, this is Grenada right here, so it's right off the coast of Grenada. We have St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I want to go over this here because I did get a chance to make some calls to try to understand from people who know that area very well, to see what their take on it is, right? So guys, I want you to share this program so we can have a better sense of understanding. And if you know of someone who also been viewing these maps and leave or have ideas to what happened in these particular areas, I want you guys to share it to them as well. All right. So I'm seeing in the chat right now, I'm seeing Doris. Thank you for watching, Doris, Sonia, Maquis, John, Anthony, DeRiggs, and everybody else. All right. So let me show you guys a video, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Let me pull up the video. So this is the video that was circulating.
Mistake of assuming that is one thing it can show, because a lot of military soldiers, our military soldiers, use those, but the world's military soldiers use those. So it could show anybody's military, but what it will definitely show is if there's a lot of that type of activity. Now, this region just north of, and I'm going to try to zoom out here, of Caracas, is a very tiny, sleepy little fishing community, and folks vacation here, honeymoon here. Nobody's working out here. And this, to show you how small this is Caracas. This is the northern coast of Venezuela. And you can barely see this little strip. But, so for there to be this much red in these areas shows something very, very unusual.
So what Masquez is talking about is a heat map. So a heat map that looks at that particular area, and via the heat map you can see like heavy red would specify a certain thing on the legend map. So I want to go a little bit fast forward to that because he's talking about the heat map here. I want to go fast forward to the marine traffic. All right, so let's look at the marine traffic
of certain type that are identifying themselves and see what's left. Now we're going to go ahead. Cargo vessels are marked in green. We're going to take those out. And they disappear. Tankers are marked in red. We're going to get rid of those. Passenger vessels marked in blue. We're going to get rid of those. High-speed craft in yellow. Those are gone. Tugs and special craft. We're going to get rid of those. Fishing boats. Now those are gone. Pleasure craft. These are all of your Class B transponders. Gone. Now we're going to get rid of navigation aids. And let me show you what this leaves off the northern coast of Venezuela, very, very near St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There is a group, and I'm going to zoom in here, of, it's getting larger by the minute, of 20 ships in this very tiny area. Let's see if I can recount here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, and then we have 18 and 19 here, And I believe there is another one on the way. Yep, over here. Here's number 20.
Right. So those 20 ships that was just counted. So this is my live marine traffic map. So right. So this is what you're seeing here now is now my live marine traffic map. So this is the ships that he's speaking about right in this area here. In fact, when I checked as of today, it's more than 20. So it's probably now about 30 something. It's much more than was specified when he did the video, right? So the ships, when you look over it, and marine traffic is something that is public access, so you too could go on marine access and look at these maps and these ships and unspecified and all of that stuff. So let's go over. So when you pass your map over this, you see this is the unspecified ship. This is the unspecified ship. So this is a fleet of what he's saying that might be a military buildup. But look right here. This is a tanker, right? This is a tanker of some sort that is moving through this whole military buildup. Now, my first question would be, if this is a military buildup that's looking to, or coalition that looking to overthrow or some military ship, I don't think a tanker, or even right here, you see a seaboat ocean vessel, which is, and I saw a fishing boat that was also close in that area as well. I don't think that if that is the case, you would have fishing boat going through the military coalition buildup and all of this stuff. And that's what we're seeing here. Look right here, we have a cargo vessel. This is a cargo vessel. And this flight path right here flies right over, like yet another vessel, other aircraft fly over this path here. No, at this time, all right, at this time, there have been no reports from air traffic, from any pilot seeing any military buildup in this particular area. So I spoke to someone today who said, well, so what could this be? What could this buildup of unspecified ships are? No, by looking at it, I want to say this, by looking at this ships that are right here, you cannot tell that they are military ship. It says nothing about military ships, right? All it says is that it's unspecified ship, unspecified ship, unspecified ship. And that's because the ship didn't identify itself. Now this is, I've heard from people who study this thing on a regular basis, right? People who study this on a regular basis are saying, well, you know, it's not a far-fetched reality to not turn on your transponder. So people may go out there and fish or whatever and not turn on the transponder for one reason or next. There's a lot of different reasons why they don't turn on the transponders. So what could this possibly be? Now, as I said, you have a tanker that's going through the whole military buildup or coalition buildup in an attempt, as what was specified, probably to overthrow Venezuela or some kind of U.S., England and coalition crew, tankers or coalition ships. So that right here brought me to the conclusion, after speaking to a few friends, even some friends in Carriacou, that said that these ships right here, the unspecified ships, since this is a very high tuna fishing area, right? This unspecified ship within that specific area here could quite possibly be fishing boats that are fishing tuna in this specific area here. So it's to draw the conclusion that an unspecified ship is a military cruise line and driving the whole world panic about this. I think a lot more should have been done. Again, I'm not an expert at this, right? I'm just looking at it from a layman's term, right? I'm looking at it from a layman's perspective. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to have a military coalition buildup in that area like that and have fishing boats and tanker boats and all these other boats going through that military built-up area. So that's the conclusion that I came to. So let me hear what you guys are saying. Let me know what if you're seeing this, if you've been following the story, and what your thoughts are about this particular video. I want to go back and take a look at another part of the video that circulated. Let's look at it again.
Heading right for this group. This very well could be the makings of an invasion fleet or a fleet designed to repel one. This is how military ships show up. They show up as just gray and unidentified. And that all of these are just in this area by themselves is incredibly suspicious. If we had just random craft dotting all over the map that were unspecified, that wouldn't be suspicious at all. You know, they would be everywhere. But as you can see, when we zoom out, the only other places is we have a ship over here, and I don't even know why they're calling this a ship because it's a dot. But this is Providencia. So it's very rare that you get a ship that's out there that's not pinging or broadcasting what it is.
And from what I found out from friends who frequent that particular area, right, they says it's quite common for a ship to go out and don't turn on its transponder or identifier or whatever it is. So, and again, when you look at it, this is the same set of ships that you're seeing here. All right, unspecified ship. It doesn't specify itself. It could be a tuna fish, a tuna boat, and that's what a couple of folks in Carriacou is saying. That area right here, and Rena and those other folks in Carriacou who knows this area very well, right, could also chime in on this, because they're not the people that are looking at it. They are laughing at the fact that this is causing a whole set of turmoil around the world, when it could very well be tuna boats, right? Possibly tuna boats. Nevertheless, you can't be too safe. You can't be too safe. But what I'm saying is, if that was the case and there were military build-up here, Lead pilots would be able to see. That's a flight path area right there. You have all the islands. You have St. Vincent not too far from there. Grenada is right there, and that has not been reported. So I want to know what you guys are saying. Do you think that this is a military build-up for invasion, or do you think that this is just tuna boats that's just fishing off those areas right here? All right, let me look at some more of this video, because I think it gets very interesting. Take a look at this part of the video.
There's a couple over in the canal, and they are military icebreakers, but that's it. So for some strange reason, we have 19 ships here and one more on the way. I don't know how you look at this based on all of the rhetoric out of Puerto Rico, all of the activity in Venezuela and Colombia is anything other than a military fleet. And that it's this close to Caracas right here. This is, let's see if I can zoom out here so my cursor can be. The island that I spoke of earlier, Grand Rock, it's right here. And if they were going to pull this off, this is where they would do it. It's kind of odd. Their Grenada's back in the news again. Unbelievable. I know I have a lot of folks out there that are my age and older that remember Grenada. It just seems like, I think that was 84. I might have my year wrong. It's been a long time ago, but for some reason Grenada, I believe, was 1984. 84 or 82. It's just been a long time. I'd have to look it up. But it was Reagan. It was in the Reagan era, and it's a long drawn out story about why we went down and what we did down there, but it's very odd to see this again building up. You just don't have 19 ships decide to all anchor in one spot. And like we said, we went through it. These aren't fishing vessels, because fishing vessels broadcast as such.
Yeah, fishing vessels would broadcast as fishing vessels if they identify themselves. But as far as what I am hearing, as far as what we're hearing from the expert who fish in those areas, it's very common. All right. So I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. And I mean, keep your eyes open. You can't be too careful. But I don't think that the panic that it's causing is necessary, because the people who frequent these areas, they're not panicking about it. The people from Carriacou who know that the tuna fishing area is right there are not panicking about this whole situation right here. And see, guys, look at this one. Look at this one right here. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. It says Seaboat Ocean, right? So this is a sea. This is a and that position was recognized 2 minutes ago, and this is a fishing boat right here. So a fishing boat is right next to a whole set of military ships. I don't think so. You know, that's just my personal point of view. But again, you can't be too careful. We have to monitor. They have to keep looking at it. But I don't think that that's the situation. And I think the panic. I think probably the governments of the area of the region should put out something and calm people's nerve, because I probably got about 17 different emails from people to try to explain this video. Folks sent me that in my email and wanted to understand, well, what is it? Are they trying to invade Grenada? Are they using that as a jump? Grenada, that water's right there, as a jump off to invade Venezuela? Are they looking? Is there going to be an invasion? Who is invading? Who is involved? Will the Caribbean region there feel any repercussion from this involvement, this big military buildup that's happening right there? And since it's so close to those regions, St. Vincent, Grenada, Carriacou, those whole areas right there, how would it affect those areas? So people are genuinely scared. People are genuinely afraid, and they're looking at this, you know. But guys, again, I think after carefully looking at this whole video, going over it and analyzing it and zooming in and zooming out and monitoring it and monitoring it and monitoring it, I am just not clear that it is a military buildup. Okay, Valin Net, you say I'm lost. All right, Valin, let me bring you up to speed. So this video was released. Sorry, this video was released about 5 days ago, right? This video was released about 5 days ago, and it showed that the actual, let me get his name right so I give him proper credit. The name that he came from is Florida Maquis, right? That's the YouTube name, saying that there is a buildup of military ship. The video is entitled Coalition Invasion off the coast of Grenada, heavy armed warship on standby, right? That's the title. And he was able to determine that the coalition invasion and the heavy armed warship was in the particular area right between Grenada, St. Vincent, and those areas here. What he was looking at is this map right here. It's called marine traffic, where you could go and look at all the different ships. If you zoom back, you see all the different colors. You find this is a tanker ship, this is a cargo vessel, and you see all the pictures of all the different vessels and ships that frequent in those areas here. So what he's saying is that those unidentified ships that are right here off the coast of Grenada are military coalition ships that possibly positioning themselves to invade Venezuela, and how those ships are coming from all over and just congregating right there, right? But after looking at it and monitoring it over a period of time, you've seen like fishing boats are navigating through this path right here. So my conclusion is, if you have that set of buildup right there, and you have folks from Carriacou, you have folks from that region that say, yo, that's crazy because that area is a tuna fishing area. So a lot of tuna fishermen that frequent that area, they understand and they know this is where is a heavy tuna fishing area, right? And I don't think that you would find fishing boats navigating through those military buildup. That wouldn't happen. So my conclusion to all of this is it's quite possible that this is not a military buildup, but instead this area is a tuna fishing area where you have you have cargo ships, everybody's just passing through, and the anxiety and stress that is causing the whole world, because this video is getting a lot of views on YouTube, the anxiety and stress is causing so much people is really unnecessary. That's my conclusion to it. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, but that's my conclusion to it. All right, let me read some of the comments here. My supervisor, who is an ex-marine engineer from the UK, said nothing to be alarmed about. Read. Yeah, I'm not scared. Glad to see people paying attention to the news. As USA said, all options are on the table, and I could understand, guys. I'm not ruling out the fact that there was plans, or there might be plans for foreign governments to invade Venezuela, and if that is the case, I'm not ruling that out, because I think the US had planned some kind of invasion of Venezuela in the past, right? But in this particular instant, because the buildup is so close to the Grenada, St. Vincent, and these areas, people are paying a lot of attention to it, because it was a ship. There was another unidentified ship that came really close. It looked as if he was actually coming from Grenada and heading to that buildup, that so-called buildup area that was named by Mr. Maquis, right? So again, the conclusion that we put in is that those unidentified ships, again, if you pass your mouse over, you see unspecified ship, unspecified ship, unspecified ship. Those unspecified ship is quite possible ships that did not turn on their transponders, but instead are fishing tuna in these particular areas. This is not the final word on it, but they're just my independent looking at it. Other folks have also told me the same thing. Folks from Carriacou and those places, and them actually told me the same thing. All right, so that's what's happening. Lydia James say maybe this is a tuna tournament. I don't know about that. If indeed there was a fishing ship, tuna is big. It's a big industry. In Grenada waters is depleted. Nikisha saying that being following from the beginning, it's crazy. We just need to keep our eyes open. And yes, in any instant like this, you have to be aware, you have to be concerned, you have to be monitoring, you have to be vigilant, right? You have to be vigilant. And I'm happy that people are paying attention to stuff like that, because marine traffic is something that I don't frequent marine traffic to look at all the activities there, but for the past 2 days or so I've been looking at it frequently to see, to understand marine traffic a little bit more, and see the types of ships and how much ships, thousands of ships that navigate through the Caribbean waters, different type of ships. The red would signify a tanker. So all these tanker ships that are going from point A to point B. We have cargo vessels, of course, which is in the green. Tug ships and craft that's in the blue. We have SBI. What's this? This is a SBI antenna, whatever that is. And you could also see some of the different. This is if I could pull up some of the pictures of those vessels. So yeah, I've been frequenting marine traffic to look at all these different vessels that pass through the Caribbean region right there. And I mean, the reason for alarm, again, might be the fact that in this specific area, most of the ships on them are unidentified. The transponders are not on. They're not reporting what they are. They're just unspecified. So I could kind of see why people are kind of wary about it. But as far as what I'm hearing, again, I'll reiterate, as far as what I'm hearing, there's no need to be alarmed about this, because it seems to be tuna fishing vessels. Go back to the chat. Does this happen every year? You know, I have not been monitoring marine traffic for a long time. It's not like I sit there and monitor marine traffic for years. You know, I very rarely went on it and look at it. And for this past couple of days, I've been watching it more so than ever. And it been like that, those ships been like that from the time I really started to look at it carefully. It been like that for the past couple of days. So I'm not sure. But the people who know this area very well, as I said earlier, the people who know this area very well would say that it's a heavy tuna fishing area, and it quite possibly 90% or higher that is what's happening in this specific area here, based on the fact that, you know, you have a lot of specified cruise ships, like not cruise ships, specified boats that are passing through. You have fishing vessels that are passing through that are specified, and nothing is reported. Nothing significant has been reported. And I think even if the governments and stuff are involved, or you know, or not involved, they would know, or they would have some idea as to what's happening in this area here. It's something that could put out a press release or do a flyover to get more information on it. All right. So guys, my unscientific word on this, it might just be just fishing and nothing to worry about. And from the folks that we spoke to, they actually said the same thing. Nothing to worry about. All right. So that's what I wanted to bring here. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys again at 6 p.m. for a ride along. Bye bye.